You're watching Heron TV. Good morning, Herons. It must be Monday because we are bringing Heron TV to you. How are you, Miss Stutzman?
Oh, hey there, Miss Pearson. Happy Monday. And thanks for joining us for the 4th edition of Remote Heron TV and the 28th episode of our school year. We hope you're settling into your routines with distance learning.
It's now been 45 days since we were last at school, but social distancing cannot stop us from doing what we do. We teach, we support each other,
And hopefully we entertain too. Let's start this show off with some of the finest TikTok dancers this side of the internet, our admin team.
Thank you, Miss Stetson. Hello, everybody. Principal Broadus here, and Duchess. She looks a hot mess. Poor thing, needs a haircut, but what do you do? Just wanted to say happy Monday to you, and I wanted to let you know that your admin team, we are thinking about you guys. We miss you. We want to see you soon, but in the meantime, we want to make sure that you're staying healthy during this online learning time. We know that you're spending a lot of time in front of that computer, as are we. And we want to show you some examples of how you can stay healthy, how you can stay active, and how you can manage that stress. Mrs. Fortuna, what can you share with them?
Hey Herons, one thing that I do every day and that you can do every day too to make sure you're staying healthy is to make sure that you get outside and get some fresh air. Today I'm getting out. I'm going to take my dogs on a nice long run. Another thing I do to stay active and get some exercise is some TikTok with my dog. And although it's easy to stay in bed, on your Chromebook, eating ice cream all day, it's important to leave your room, come out, eat some healthy food, and read a good book. Another thing that I do when I start getting really stressed after sitting in front of the computer all day is get up and listen to some Guardians of the Galaxy 2. Another way I like to de-stress is to come outside and take a few deep breaths to relax. These are a few ways that I stay active and relieve stress. I hope you are making healthy choices too. Bye, Herons. Have a great week.
What's up, Herons? Mr. Mulligan here. So there's a number of things that I've done to help deal with the stress and everything going on right now. So I wanted to share a few with you. One is, we love music. We also like hanging out in the backyard and barbecuing. Check out what we have going on here. That's chicken stuffed with goat cheese, sun-dried tomato, and basil. Gonna be delicious. We also like to get out and take walks. The whole family. Someone's sleeping. We also like to read. Mike Mulligan had a steam shovel, a beautiful red steam shovel. Her name was Mary Ann.
Thank you, Miss Broadus, Miss Fortuna, and Mr. Mulligan. What would we do without your inspiration and very fine leadership?
Speaking of leadership, let's return to a segment that we haven't aired since we started broadcasting remotely, Stuco TV.
Hey, what's up, parents? Mr. Cole here, giving you a quick student council update for this week. First of all, starting next week on May the 4th, we're going to have Spirit Week, and we want you to send your pictures in of that Spirit Challenge that week. So the first week is, it's May the 4th, so it had to be Star Wars week. I am the number one dad, okay? So send us your pictures to herontelevision@gmail.com of you in your Star Wars gear with your lightsaber, whatever you want to wear or do Star Wars related. Send those pictures in. We'd love to see them. For this month, if you have an idea for a Spirit Day that you'd like to see on Heron TV, there is a survey linked below. Please fill that out. Get back to us. Let us know what you want to see. Also, Coming up next week in the month of May, there'll be applications for student council next year. If you're interested in student council, you want to be part of making this great school happen, whatever it's going to look like next year, we'd love to have you. You do need to fill out an application if you want to be in the class, so make sure to check that out. Starting next week, they'll be available all of May to submit. And finally, make sure to follow us on Instagram, stuco.hvms. We've been posting lots of good tips about how to manage your stress. We're calling it hashtag Heron Strong. And you'll also start to see some teacher celebrations for Teacher Appreciation Week on there as well. So stuco.hvms. All right, thanks, Herons.
One thing that's kept me going during this break has been the wonderful spring weather we've had on occasion. Let's see what Mother Nature has in store for us this week.
There's nothing like the weather jingle to start my day. It's almost as inspiring as the quote of the week.
Hi Herons, this is your quote of the week. Fall 7 times, get up 8 by Japanese proverb. Have a great day, Herons.
Bouncing back from failure is an important character trait. Thank you for sharing. Now, let's continue with the sharing with some Heron shout-outs.
I would like to give my Heron shout-out to Carly Ellers and Logan Mahaffey for playing Roblox with me.
Shout out to Mr. Henry for being able to retain a sense of humor during these stressful times. It really helps to have that kind of person who can be relaxed and funny, and helps you to take on that mood yourself.
I give a Heron shout out to Blaze Volk because he plays video games with me when I'm bored.
I want to give a shout out to my teachers that are working so hard, and I also want to give a shout out to my friends that I miss so much.
Hi Herons, hope you're enjoying all the sunshine. I'd like to thank all the teachers for their hard work on online school.
Give a shout out today to Mr. Oliver. He has been the backbone of keeping us dialed in terms of the Google Classroom and how to add videos and to add all sorts of cool technology to our classroom. And so I'd like to take the time to give him a shout out. Way to go. Thanks, Mr. Oliver.
I want to give a big Heron shout out to Steve Oliver for keeping HTV going.
Shout out Brooke Wesner and all my other friends I haven't seen over break.
Give a huge Heron shout out to Miss Janice, who's been helping me tremendously over the break.
Heron shout out to Chuck McCarthy. He makes very good jokes. You should hear him. Pretty fun.
If you want your Heron shout out to appear on HTV, send us an email to herontelevision@gmail.com or drop it into the student submission folder linked in this description.
Did you know that Mr. McCarthy, our 6th grade science teacher, is expecting his very first child later this year? Finally, he can proudly start telling dad jokes.
Hey, wake up! What? Did you know that Return of the Jedi used to be Revenge of the Jedi? No? What do you think this is? Random fact of the episode or something? Oh, sorry, I guess I was just really caught up with the Star Wars stuff. But you want to hear a joke? Sure, a joke would be nice. Why not? Okay. When does a joke become a dad joke? When everybody rolls their eyes? When it becomes apparent. Oh, God.
That was apparently pretty witty, Mr. McCarthy. Nice job. Let's shift gears and check in with another HVMS teacher for the random fact of the episode.
Hey everybody, Mr. Welch here, wishing you a happy Prime Rib Day. Do you know that the most prime rib ever eaten in one sitting was done by a woman named Molly Schuler from Minnesota? Molly sat down and for 45 minutes ate prime rib, and when she was done, she had eaten 22.5 pounds of prime rib. The only reason that she'd stopped is because the restaurant ran out of food. That is random, and that's your random fact of the day.
Fascinating. You'll learn something new every week. In fact, let's check in with one of HVMS's newest teachers, Mrs. Oliver, for Whoa, That's Science!
Hi Herons, Mrs. Oliver here. Some of you know me as a substitute around Happy Valley Middle School. Some of you know me as Mr. Oliver's daughter. Or I don't know what you guys have been doing during the quarantine, but I've been teaching myself to bake as a way of passing the time. And one recipe I've been making a lot of is some brioche hamburger buns, which Mr. Oliver is a big fan of and requested for me to make today. So I was telling him there's a lot of science involved in making bread, so I'm doing a little segment for Heron TV. So yeast is actually a single-celled organism. It's a fungus. So the way it works is we're going to mix our yeast with some warm water. It helps if it's warm. We're going to give it a little bit of milk. And we're going to put a little bit of sugar in there too. We're going to mix it all together. Basically what's going to happen is the yeast starts eating the sugar, much like we eat food. And as it eats it, it breaks down the sugar to make energy for itself. And then the garbage that it leaves over is called carbon dioxide. Same stuff we breathe out. So you'll see that once I mix it, it's going to start releasing bubbles. And once it's real bubbly and foamy and fizzy, we're going to put it in with the dough, and then it's going to mix with all the flour, and we'll let it sit for a while, and it allows it to grow. But that growth that the dough has is from all that carbon dioxide being released from the yeast. Is how you use the power of science to make bread. Whoa, that's science.
You might have had Mrs. Oliver as a substitute teacher in one of your classes earlier this year. Well, she's with us for the rest of the year, filling in for Mrs. Yee. Welcome, Mrs. Oliver.
Hosting this show with our very own cooking teacher is making me hungry, and so is getting ready to introduce this week's Ask a Heron. Let's find out what everyone's favorite quarantine meal is.
This is Ask a Heron.
Hey Herons, it is me, Jem, again. Yes. My favorite comfort coronavirus lockdown food thing is mac and cheese, because it's real good. Yeah.
I like to eat Thai food.
This is Tony, and this is my sandwich that I have.
My favorite quarantine meal is Cocoa Puffs.
I like making grilled cheese for quarantine. Grilled cheese is good and cheesy.
My favorite quarantine meal is homemade tacos. Got cheese, tomato, lettuce, tortillas, and then this is the best taco seasoning you would want to get.
This is Cooper, and I'm making my favorite meal, hot dogs.
It's not a meal, but my favorite quarantine snack is homemade macarons.
I think my favorite quarantine meal has either been like steak or something, or lettuce wraps.
Thanks for sending in your responses. For next week, we want to know, what do you most miss about being at school? What are you looking forward to when we finally get to go back?
I think I miss the most being active all the time. Being a teacher on my feet keeps me going, and this hanging around the house all day, it's making me Hypnagogic.
I have no idea what that means.
Oh, hello there. I'm just sitting here, guarding the house, letting my mind wander. My human said I have to do the squirrel word of the week to keep you guys educated. So, I was really thinking about what word you need to know. And squirrel. Hold on. I need to take a break. Ah, that's better. Okay. So, you know when you're all comfy in your bed and your mind starts to lull? You're not really awake, but you're not really asleep? That state of mind is called hypnagogic, which means the period of drowsiness immediately preceding sleep. And that's your word of the week. Alright guys, I gotta get back to work.
It wouldn't be an edition of Remote Heron TV without an appearance by Cora, the Wonder Dog.
I don't think it would be an episode of Heron TV without contributions by students. If you want to get involved in any way, just send us an email. We're looking for hosts, actors, editors, and much more.
If you want to be on Heron TV, you've got to create content at home and then share it with us. So I'm going to show you how you can take a file from the desktop of your computer and you can upload it to your Google Drive just by dragging it on your Drive screen to the bottom where it turns blue and then it'll say uploading one item. You can do this with a picture or you can do it with a video. Once it's complete, you're going to click on the three dots in the upper right hand corner and you're going to click Share. Then you're going to click Get Shareable Link. You're going to hit Copy Link and you'll have that link copied to your clipboard that you can share in an email. Go ahead and compose an email to herontelevision@gmail.com and describe your message with a subject. Paste the link into your message and you're well on your way to being on Heron TV. We look forward to seeing your content soon.
Let's check out this week's challenge. I just can't do it, Captain.
I don't think Scottish people say properly. I think it's too hard for them. It sounds terrible in a Scottish accent. It's more of an Australian word. They say properly, Kai. They say properly, and it's like before you go to drive your car, you got to put your seatbelt on properly. I mean, the road's only so wide. Am I right? It can be quite dangerous.
That's an excellent Australian accent. I'm wondering if Miss Pearson's son really is from the Down Under.
Oh, I thought his Scottish accent was pretty good. My son is a champion of accents. So what's our challenge this week going to be?
Hey Herons, this week's weekly challenge is to just dance. You can learn a TikTok dance or two or a whole lot. You can make up your own dance to your favorite song, or you can just dance like nobody's watching. Whatever you do, the best part about it is that you can do it while social distancing. Make sure if you want to be on HTV, send this email a clip of you doing the weekly challenge. See you next week.
We here at HTV are all about champions, so we are starting something new, the Kahoot Tournament of Champions. Let's turn it over to Mr. Oliver to learn about this new game and how we can all participate in it.
What's up, Herons? Mr. Oliver's here. Hope you've been enjoying this episode of Heron TV. If you're anything like me, you're probably missing spring sports, but that doesn't mean we still can't have a Tournament of Champions. That's right, we're having a Kahoot Trivia Tournament of Champions. So, what you're going to do is you're going to go to the website kahoot.it. You're going to enter in the game pin right here. It's also found in the link of our description, and you're going to enter your first and last name. No nicknames or aliases, or you won't qualify to move on to the finals. That's right, we're having a final round on June 1st. So, every week for the next couple of weeks, we're going to have a Kahoot game. It's going to be open from Monday morning at 9:30 until Tuesday at 4:05. Our top 10 winners will receive a special invite to the Tournament of Champions finals on June 1st. So, what are you waiting for? Go ahead and log on to kahoot.it and let's see if you've got what it takes to be a Kahoot champion.
So there you have it, Herons. We'll see you in the Tournament of Champions. Another Monday, another show's in the books. It's been a pleasure hosting with you, Miss Pearson. I miss being right down the hall from you.
I miss you too, Miss Stutzman. At least we get to share the screen together, right? Have a great week. I'm Miss Pearson.
And I'm Miss Stutzman.
Have a great day, Herons.
Have a great day, Herons.
Have a great day, Herons.
Have a great day, Herons!
Have a great day, Herons.
The yeast made my food by eating the food inside of my food. Now I'm eating my food.